Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Aboim. Today is Chav Daled Elul, the yard side of the Chafetz Chaim. So, what a great chus it is to learn from the Mishna, one of the most important works, if not the most important work of the Chafetz Chaim, one of the most important Sefarim ever written. We're learning Siman Kuf Mem Gimel, Sif Daled. Siman Kuf Mem Gimel, Sif Daled. We're beginning a major topic. We learned in Sif Gimel that the opinion of the Mechaber is that if you don't have a kosher Sefer Torah, you cannot make a bracha on a puzzle Sefer Torah b'shas hadchak. But we're going to see that this is not unanimously held. Sif Daled. Im nimtza ta'as b'Sefer Torah b'shas kriya. If you find a mistake in the Sefer Torah while you're reading it, Maitzian Sefer Torah acheres. You take out another Sefer Torah. Before we even begin to understand the Siman, we have a beautiful introduction from the Chafetz Chaim to give us the foundational principles of this halacha. Says the Mishna Berura, in order to understand the words of the Seif, I'm going to give you a short intro. For who? Dehine das roiv ha-poiskim the Sefer Torah shechaser teva achas oy ois achas oy shenimtza batas psula lekrois ba. According to the majority of poiskim, a Sefer Torah that's missing a word, a letter, or has a mistake, you're now to lane from it. Uladitu, it's disqualified from laning. Uladitu, and according to them, im nimtza batas afilu la'achar shekvar karo shiva kruim. According to roiv poiskim, if you find the mistake, even though you've already read 7 aliyos, you have to tzarch lachsa l'roish b'sefer Torah hakasher l'varchala. You have to go back to the beginning with a kosher Sefer Torah and make a bracha on it. Da'oisa kriya rishayna kaman delesa damya, because that first kriya doesn't count. You already laned it. You already made a bracha. It's already post facto. Yeah, but you didn't do anything. You didn't lane from a kosher Sefer Torah. V'das mixas poiskim, according to some poiskim, da'afilu chaser kama psukim. Even if you're missing a number of psukim, b'kol shekain kishenimtza ba ta'os ba'alma, and certainly if there's just a mistake, after lo nikra Sefer Torah l'inyan shekaima mitzvah sasei shel ksiva Sefer Torah. Even though it's not called a Sefer Torah regarding being Mekayim, the mitzvah saseh of writing a Sefer Torah, Mikamakam, nevertheless, mutter likrois ba, emein lai acheres. Nevertheless, it's permitted to read from it if you don't have another one. You would imagine that in the long galus, many a time there have been a Beis HaKnesses that they did not have a kosher Sefer Torah, and probably they had to rely on miktsas ha-poiskim. You could only imagine many places, many mekoimos, many zmanim, that they didn't have a kosher Sefer Torah. In our time, there are a plethora of Sefer Torah in every shul. But probably, in all probability, the miktsas ha-poiskim needed to be relied on many a time. Okay, so who do we hold like? We already saw in Sif Gimel that the Mechaber Shita is that if you're in a village where you don't have a Sefer Torah kosher, you can't make a bracha. The Mechaber was ready soisim, like Roiv Poiskim, Vinei Mechaber b'Sif Gimel Sasam del Charchila, Ein la hoitzi Sefer Torah psula varchala, afilu b'makom she'ein la acheres. Why? Acharei the Roiv HaPoiskim, Seifim the Aser. Most Poiskim say it's Aser. The Ber Hagoyla in Sif Gimel said that the Mechaber is based on the Tshuvas Harashba and the Rash. But it's really most Rishonim. Achim nimsa tas acher shekvar kora sidra. The Mechaber in Sif Gimel said, Ein mevarchin alav lechatchila, to take it out. But what if you already laned from Apostle Sefer Torah? You ready for this? You're not going to see this name too often. Even though Roiv Poiskim say that you can't lane from it. Achim nimsa tos achar shekvar kora sidra pasek harav Rabbi Yaakov Beirav. Rabbi Yaakov Beirav. Who's Rabbi Yaakov Beirav? He's the Rebbe of the Beis Yosef. He's the Beis Yosef's Rebbe. He's the one who reinstituted or attempted to reinstitute smicha. And he gave smicha to the Beis Yosef. And that's a historic debate between Rabbi Yaakov Beirav and the Mahari ben Lev. The Mahari Beirav says, B'di'eved, you could rely on k'tzas poiskim. The Pri Megadim says he was only willing to be samech on k'tzas poiskim by a regular kriya, not let's say para or zachar, but on a regular kriya. The Pri Megadim says definitely you can't be samech on it for a kriya d'oraisa. Shemachshirin likrois ba, also lahamakriya, and the kriya will work post facto. The ein sarach lahoitzi sefer tarcharas, and you wouldn't have to take out another one. V'skimu imay hachroinim b'zeh. So even though Roiv Paiskim say that a sefer Torah that has a mistake, you're not to make a bracha, and only Miksas hold you could make a bracha. But after the fact, once you've already laned, you could be samech on Miksas HaPaiskim.
Miksas say l'chatchila, right? So we're in the middle ground here, right? The Miksas Paiskim, their psak was l'chatchila, you could take this out word to lane.
Most Rishonim hold, it seems like, you have to go back and read it again, even post facto.
Right.
So it's not really a middle ground, because most Rishonim hold it's not good post facto. The Mari ben Beirav is being soimech on the miktsas, right? He's being soimech on the miktsas poiskim post facto, but still, Roiv Rishonim say after the fact it's still not good. But we're sort of relying on the others. The same thing would be if you found a mistake in between aliyos and you didn't finish the 7 aliyos. Regarding the aliyos that have already been read, you can rely on the lenient opinion that you're yotze b'di'eved. To continue reading, asar. You take out another one. You start from where the kriya stopped. And you complete the reading together with those aliyos that were read in the mistaken Sefer Torah. Meaning, the Kohen and the Levi and the Yisrael that were read from Sefer Torah A, that was pasul, they count. You don't need a new 7 aliyos in the second. It's good enough if you have whatever you lent in the first works post facto. V'hainu degam him etzram lashil krum kimin shu b'di'eved v'chanal. B'kasu achronim d'mikamakim evsher tov yoyser sheikru shiva krum Sefer Torah shetzio. The achronim say, even though post facto the psukim you read count, you don't read them again, it's better to get another 7 aliyos in the second one.
Is there any difference between the type of mistake? Like if it's missing a letter, it doesn't have a chazaka, but if it's rubbed out, maybe it was kosher and got rubbed out now.
Right now, we didn't see any difference. Right now, there are no distinctions. So if you find a mistake in the first Sefer Torah, do you have to lane another 7 aliyos? You don't have to. You don't have to. Should you? It's better to. Lots of luck pulling that off. Imagine if after 6 aliyos you found a mistake in the first Sefer Torah. You think in the shul you'll be able to pull off doing 7 aliyos in the remaining part of the Parsha? You might have a hard time with it. I would say that's going to be a game time decision over here. In other words, you're not obligated to lane 7 aliyos. The kriya worked. The kruim is questionable. So let's say, I would say if you were the mistake was after the first oile, okay, so you might as well call up, anyway you have to call up 6 in another one, so you call up 1 more, you call up 2 more, call up 6 more, you'll see,
But when the Mishna Berura is saying that the first ones are good, is he saying this midato, or he's saying what the psak of Yaakov Beirav is? Is this all part of the quoting the Rebbe Rav, or the Mishnah Berurah is saying it midatoi?
I would say based on the consensus of the Achroinim extrapolating from Rabbi Yaakov Rav, who says b'diavad you could be soimech after the fact. Hu hadin. He doesn't say that Rabbi Yaakov Rav says it's hu hadin. He doesn't say it's his das. So presumably it's based on the consensus of the Achroinim that.
But isn't the Rav of the Achroinim would probably say start from the beginning. That's what he said in the beginning.
Yeah, but he's not going with that. He's allowing you to be samech on Rabbi Yaakov Rav. So Rabbi Yaakov Rav would also apply if the mistake was bein gavra legavra. And now he's saying it's better to call up all 7 oilim again, but not to go back and read those psukim again. Now, the chozeh im kvar berach bracha achroina bapsula. This is all if you made the final bracha on the Pasal Sefer Torah, avol be'emtza kriyasei matzatos, but if in the middle of the reading you found a mistake, afilu kvar karu harbe psukim, even though you already learned many psukim, the kol sheken kishaloi karu adayin shloisha psukim, and certainly if you didn't yet read 3 psukim, v'gam afilu gamar kriyasei gamri, or you read the whole aliyah, but you didn't make the bracha achroina yet, that reading doesn't count at all. Kol shaloi berech adayin bracha achroina ein levarech bracha achroina ala psula. We're only being soimech on the miksas achroinim if the reading is complete. But if the reading is not complete, and now we're talking about making a bracha on a pasuk Sefer Torah, kol shaloi berech adayin bracha achroina ein levarech bracha ala psula. Dezeu lechatchila. That's like lechatchila, and lechatchila nobody says. Alechatchila roiv rishonim definitely say you can't read it, even though miksas say you could do alechatchila. Rabbi Yaakov Beirav is only willing to be soimech on the miksas b'diavad, not alechatchila. So what should you do? Ella yoitzioi acheres. You should take out another one. V'yikru sham shloisha psukim. You should read 3 psukim. V'yivarech sham bracha achreina levad, and then just make a bracha achreina. You hear this? You read 50 psukim. Let's say you get a big whopper of an aliyah, in the middle of the toichacha, and you read 50 psukim, and you see a mistake. What do? In middle of the aliyah, you take out a new Sefer Torah, you read 3 psukim, and you make a bracha achreina. You don't have to go back and read those psukim that you already read. No, you never go back and read psukim. You never go back and read psukim. Unless there's a parsha, an entire parsha missing. But if they're missing psukim, there's a missing letter, or missing psukim, or mistake, you never go back and read psukim. So it was asked, whose opinion is this? Was this all the Mishnah Berura? Was this all Rabbi Yaakov Beirav? Yes. Zehu shitas Mari Beirav she'atikoi ha'mechaber b'sif zeh. That's the Mari Beirav. Everything, this whole long Mishnah Berura, is in one line in the Mechaber Sif Gimel. Namely, even in a village that you don't have a Sefer Torah kosher, ein mevarchin alav l'chachil, you can't make a bracha. But mashma, but if you already did learn from it, it works. Post facto. That's the Mechaber quoting the Mari Beirav. So therefore, if we were writing the Bera Goyla, really, Oy Sivkatan Hey, you should write Mari Beirav, not Shuvas Harashba V'Harash. And tomorrow, we'll see the opinion of the Mordechai, who disagrees with the Mari Beirav. Okay? So we'll hold it over here. Have a great day. But don't go anywhere. But you could still have a great day.
But it still needs to be pre-aliyah.
Yeah.
From the new one.
No. The need to be It's better if you do, but you don't need to be. If you did 2 from the Pasa one, and then after the Levi you realize there's a psul, Me'ikar Adin, you only need 1 aliyah from the kosher one. It's better to have 3 from the kosher one. What?
If you have 3, do you have to go back to Kohen Levi Israel?
If you have 3, do you have to go back to Kohen Levi Yisrael? I don't know.
Or Shabbos, or 7.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I would say no, but only for the fun of it. Why? What do I mean? Because really, you don't have to give a kohen. You don't have to give a kohen. It's a takana because of shalom. But Chazal were never masakin for unusual cases. You're going to say that if there's a mistake in the Sefer Torah, they were also masakin? I don't know. Not sure. You could think about that. You could spend the rest of the Chavetz Chaim's yard site thinking about that.
They got there earlier already.
But, if it doesn't count, then,
It doesn't count in some ways. It's not that it doesn't count in all ways, it doesn't count in some ways.
It might not count in terms of politics where the guy's going to be upset that he didn't get his aliyah. Okay, we're going to start. Okay.